Hi, I am Cager on two wheels, and this is my motorcycle. We haven't been properly introduced yet, so here it goes. It is a Honda CBF 125, and it's mine. I've been asked a few times what do I think of the bike, and I basically only think one thing, which is awesome. Well, now about the bike. It's got a few extras. The top case mount. I usually have a top case here, but I removed it because I don't need it now and I prefer it without a top case. Ultra high-tech sophisticated water bottle carrying system. See? Doesn't go anywhere. Let it just warm up a bit. I have some non-standard indicators because I like these more. The original ones are huge, they go out to here. These are prettier. I put some HID lights at the front, LED presence light, whatever, and that's just about it. Oh, I've corrected the electrical system. So onto the bike itself. Well, this is a very good commuter bike if you're not in much of a hurry, since it's only a 125. As I've said several times before, it basically uses next to no fuel at all, so that's awesome. It's very light, very easy to ride. You can just, it's almost like a bicycle because it's so light. You don't really need to learn how to counter steer, though you should. You can just, see? You can just throw your hips around and it moves, which is good. Now, a few details about this one. There are two versions of this bike. One is the 2009 version, and then there's the after 2009 version. The previous version does not have a rev counter, yeah. Doesn't have a rev counter, this thing here, and the new one does. The difference is basically that, with one very important exception: the tires. The original, the first ones, up to 2009, have tires from a brand called TVS. That's Tango Victor Sierra, which basically suck. They're barely good enough in the dry, but they are downright dangerous in the wet. After 2009, after apparently several customers saying they will not ride the bike unless it has different tires, Honda changed those to Continental Conti Go tires, which are very good in the dry. I haven't managed to make it skid in the dry, and are, let's say, adequate in the rain. It's still very unstable and very slippery in the rain, but at least it's not ridiculously dangerous. The bad things about this bike are simply the tires, especially in the 2009 models, particularly when it's wet. Lack of a clock, doesn't have one, so you don't know the time. That's why I stuck this one here. I also have a small thermometer, this is just a temporary till I get the better looking one. Doesn't have a clock. The tires are between horrible and medium, and the electrical system seems to have been designed by first year engineering students, because what feeds the headlamps and the lamps here on the dashboard is basically alternating currents. It doesn't draw current from the battery, it draws current directly from the alternator. The end result of this is that the front lamp has a tendency to burn out, and so do these. Another thing is that you cannot put HID on this bike unless you modify this electrical system, I've done that. Some Portuguese dude managed to do this, and then showed the PDFs with the electrical wiring needed. So I took that to an electrician who did this for me, and so I have HID lighting. That's the other problem with it, is that it has one 35 watt light bulb. Usually bikes have either two 35 watt bulbs or one 55 watt bulb. This has one 35 watt bulb, and the end result is, if you're driving somewhere with no lighting, it's basically like having a candle up front. You can't see any. You can't see anything. So HID is a major upgrade. And since the electrical system is already a bit fuzzy, I would not recommend simply putting on a 55 watt bulb. Something might melt. And so the HID is also a 35 watt bulb, and it works wonders for the bike. That's basically the only problems with it: tires and the weird electrical system. So if you live somewhere dry, and if you live somewhere where you have exterior lighting at night, no problems at all. Otherwise, it's an awesome cheap bike. You must remember, this is really cheap. This is in Portugal's 2,500 euros. That should be around $3,000 or something for a bike that uses basically no fuel. Cheap to maintain, is basically bulletproof. I have 13,000 kilometers on this one. That's what, 9,000 miles, and the amount of times I've had to tighten my chain is none, zero. No malfunctions, no nothing. The only time I was even mildly concerned was a few miles ago, when I turned on the bike and it was cold. Sometimes it would stall on itself, and the rev would just keep floating a bit until it stabilized. Well, I went to the shop with it for the 12,000 kilometers oil change. The mechanic noticed the air filter was beyond dirty, replaced it. Perfect, completely perfect. I've also had to replace the front brake pads. That's not properly malfunctioned, and that's it. It's basically bulletproof, and I'm not gentle with it because I'm new to this. It's basically bulletproof, doesn't break down, doesn't waste fuel. It's awesome. It's a great learner's bike. Very forgiving, very light. So if you're trying to learn, I would suggest heartily this one. If you want to commute in the city and don't go much on highways, this is also a great bike. If you regularly go on highways, maybe a 250 or bigger would be best, but not as a first bike. As a first bike, this will be awesome. Also, big detail: the original indicators are also crash bars. Mushrooms, crash sliders. Yeah, sliders. That's it. The original indicators are also sliders. They are so big, when the bike falls over, and I know this from first-hand experience, the bike falls onto the indicators. The base of the indicators is rubber and bends. That absorbs the impact, and usually the bike survives with no major damage. The most expensive damage it usually gets from crashing, from other people that have crashed, is a bent handlebar, which has to be replaced, and the brake lever and gear change lever, well, that is either bent or broken, and that's basically it. Nothing else gets much damage. Not even the brake and clutch levers thing. This thing here doesn't get damaged because of this bar end, which is big, so it really doesn't get much damage. It's one of those bikes that if you fall with it, you just pick it up and get going with no major problems. So that's why I think this is a perfect learner bike. What the 3 billion cops on scooters. It's a great learner bike to really start learning and fall and stuff like that. It will teach you to ride in the rain, because if you don't do it exactly right, you are going to eat some pavement. So after learning how to ride in the rain on this bike, I don't think I am ever going to fall again on any other bike. This is downright skittish on the rain. So yeah, this is my bike. Oh, I forgot one very important thing. I named it TinyWings. Why? Because when I'm riding along, if I look down, I see two TinyWings here. See? So I named her TinyWings. And that's it. That's my bike and what I think of it. Do I like it? Yes. Would I recommend it? Yes. If I was starting again, would I buy another one? Yes. Am I going to keep it forever? And no, I need a slightly bigger one. So that's it. Cager out.
What?